Well, first of all, the possibility of the United States working out of the nuclear deal will increase uncertainty, and therefore any uncertainty requires some measures in order to stabilize the market. First of all, the unification of the exchange rate is a step in the positive direction. This will allow the market to be more predictable as well as also improve the competitiveness. Addressing the fiscal situation gradually as well as also reforming their local banking system are in fact the right set of measures that will allow the Iranian economy to in fact adjust as well as also to stabilize.
In terms of the oil exporters, the other ones in this part of the world, and I'm thinking along the lines of Saudi Arabia, the rebound in oil price continues. In the past, the lower price has been an incentive to reform. Now with a higher oil price, what else really needs to be done in terms of change?
Well, I think in terms of background, what we are seeing this year is a rebound in the economy in the GCC as well as also in the oil exporters. Their economy bottomed out in 2017 with a growth rate of 1.7%, and we expect the growth to be at 2.8% this year. This recovery in oil exporting economy is not enough for them to address the long structural issues, namely creating jobs and allowing the private sector to be in the leading role in growing the economy. And therefore, pursuing on what they have already started in terms of fiscal adjustment, by having on country-by-country basis the right pace of adjustment. In the case of the Saudi, the objective of balancing the budget in 2023 is the right objective. This is on one hand. Continue on the structural reforms to diversify the economy, and nothing best than improving business environment, increasing investment in technology, reforming education to allow the private sector to lead the growth. And
but let me just jump in here, because the private sector has been slow to respond, hasn't it? I mean, is there anything that you would say they can do better to really give this some life?
Well, first of all, the recovery was driven by the non-oil sector over the last few years. Yet, I think what is important going forward is to go deeper in terms of reforms in order to allow especially small and medium-sized enterprises to create growth as well as also jobs. And this is where I think it's very important not to forget that we're still in the middle of the broad reform agenda, and not because oil price increased over the last few months that policies need to be derailed or changed. It applies for oil exporting countries as well as also for oil importing countries. This recovery that we're seeing, it's an opportunity because it will help them accelerate the reforms, and also not to forget there are still some risks. There are some clouds in the sky, in this blue sky. Interest rate could go up. The geopolitical tensions could lead to additional uncertainty. And what we're seeing in terms of trade tension could reach gradually the region. Therefore, it's really not the time to relax. And complacency should not be on the radar now.